Hi there everybody, it's Tony here again with your tarot. This is my third time trying to video this. First time my cards went flying, and 5 of them I couldn't find. They hid behind the leg of the table that I'm sat at and I couldn't see them, so I had to find them, and all of a sudden all 5 of them were standing literally like that up against the other side of the leg and I couldn't see them. So I've got all 5 of them out here, and I think these are the cards that that will say that things will get better, which I know anyway, and we all know things will get better. But will there be change? That's will the world change? That's the question, really, isn't it? So, but anyway, so here I am. They do say third time lucky, don't they? So I'll start with the first card, first of the 5 cards that I couldn't find, and that was Temperance. And as we know, Temperance is a person by the water, by a river, and pouring from one chalice into the other, or one jug into the other. And there she is there, the Tarot of the Cup people, there she is there. And as you can see, she's pouring her emotions and her herself, as it were. The individual, her true self is basically being shown through all this adversity, I think, and all this lockdown. We are all showing our true selves and to help other people, and being selfless. I think is the word I'm looking for. Being very, very selfless, and a lot of us are. And those are nurses and carers and shop workers, and remember to thank them every time you go shopping as well, or if you have post coming, just thank the post person, and you know, the rubbish men and everything, because they are putting their lives at risk, and not only their own lives but the lives of their family and children and everything. So thank you, each and every one of you. If any of you are watching this, this country would be literally at a standstill if you key workers weren't out there in the midst of all this, doing your very best to keep the country going, and keeping us going, and keeping us fed and watered, and caring for our families that can't look after themselves, and that is a very selfless act for most people. Majority of people that are in that key worker group. It's a very selfless thing, because you're out there helping others without, you know, so which is a caring profession, which is selfless anyway. Anything to do with, I would say, the underbelly of society, which is an awful word to use, because you aren't. These key workers are not the underbelly. We used to see them as the underbelly, but they keep us going, don't they? So, but anyway, so enough of that. So they are not the underbelly of society. They are the integral part of society that keep us going. That was the first card, Temperance, being selfless and everything. And the second card is the World, and there's the world there. As you can see, the individuals are holding the world in their hand. And that's basically, the world is our oyster, and things will change, even individual change, which I think is more here at the moment. So that more of individual changes, which will help with changes around the world. And I think people are going to be less selfish. Well, I hope so. I do hope so, because if nothing else, learn about yourself. Thank you, Simba. That's my wolf dog. He's just over in the corner. They're eating something, and he's eating his own paw or something. I don't know. Oh, his tissue. If I wipe my nose, but leave a tissue on the side, he just wants to eat it. It's awful. But anyway, so yes, the world is your oyster. It is up to us as individuals to make changes, and the more individuals that make changes in life, the more changes that will happen. We all think to ourselves, oh, I'm only just one person. No, I can't make the changes. Make the changes around yourself. You don't have to make changes for the whole world, just for your particular stuff, for your household, for your surroundings. Make those changes for the better. And of course, card number 3 is Strength, and there's strength there. As you can see, individual there on a big cat, because I do love my Tarot Cat people. They're very, very, you know. And that basically means in order for the changes, and changes are happening, both psychologically, emotionally, and physically to all of us. And we will wake up from this, a lot of us renewed, a lot of us with more care, more selflessness, like I said about temperance, and more focus, I think, more focus on the things that are more important to us. And that's where the strength comes in, because there are certain things I think that we'll have to make do without, get rid of, because this society we are, most of us are very materialistic, and this shows, this COVID-19 has shown us that most of the stuff that we covet we don't need. We want, but we don't need. The only thing that we basically need is water, food, and a roof over our heads, and everything else is just a want. And clothes on our back, of course, but you know. So, but designer clothes, we don't need them. We want them. Designer handbags, we don't need them, we want them, and this is where things are going to change, I think, for a while. Unfortunately, I think we will go back to the way we were, because that's how we are. Some of us might not, some of us might go on the spiritual path and see things differently, and that goes onto the Hanged Man. As you know, the Hanged Man is literally hanging from their ankle, and that's basically seeing things in a different way. Well, that could also mean that especially with the strength as well next to it, that means that there are changes and we are seeing things differently. It could be relationship wise, friendship wise, even towards the work that you were doing. And I can see lots of people changing their jobs after the lockdown, because this lockdown has shown that majority of us don't have to leave our homes to go work. Unfortunately, I do when I do the tarot readings for individuals, but like I said, I'm going to try and do them, you know, via Skype or whatever like that, via video call, and do it that way. But anyway, so the last card, which was going to be the first card anyway, that was going to be shown today, is the Sun. And of course, with the Sun, it is just a beautiful card, and basically things will be okay, but we still need strength a little bit longer. My prediction is the end of May, beginning of June. That's my prediction, and I've always said that. At the latest, first week in June, or June the 7th keeps coming into my head, so we shall see. But so yes, so that's that. The cards are basically saying that we are changing because of this, and there is a lot of change personally, and people, you know, people around us and everything, and those changes are happening now because they have to, because we have to adapt to the situation we're in at the moment, and this is what the cards have said. But unfortunately, most of us will go back to the way we were, because that's who we are, and that is the saddest state of affairs. Because, and of course, people don't believe that. You know, people saying, "Oh, you know, it'll never be normal again. It'll never be the way it was." And 2003, the last coronavirus outbreak, things went back to normal. Nothing changed. There was a change for a few weeks, but this change is going to last longer than that. But we will slowly go back to the way we were, and that's how we are. We are a creature of habits, and the habit at the moment is staying indoors and going out for an hour a day, and just go shopping once a week if we can. That's the habit at the moment. But slowly, once the lockdown is gone, we will be back to our old selves, which in a way it's really good, because going back to doing stuff and everything, but in another way is bad, because things will go back to the way it used to be before the virus. And will we learn from this? Some will, some won't. And I think the people that this hasn't touched, they won't change because they haven't touched them. And for those of us that this virus has touched, has come very close to, close to home, as it were. Things will change for us, and we will adapt. And we're very good at adapting, aren't we? So, but be safe, be healthy, and learn from yourself. Learn about yourself, and as an individual, as a person, as not as a mother or a wife or a husband or a father or a son or a daughter or a child. Learn about you personally, what you personally like doing. Sit down in a room on your own if needs be, and just listen to the music and start thinking about you and what you like to do, and then share it with the people around you, and see if they'll enjoy doing those things with you. I think this is a time of reflection and inner reflection, and see the changes within ourselves and see what changes we can do for the better, if we can. But anyway, so enough of me chattering. Be safe, be healthy, and above all, listen to people that know what's going on, i.e. the government and their advisors. So I shall speak to you soon, and blessings to you all.